Yes, indeed. We are back for another episode. What's going on, family?
Hey, peoples.
Deborah
Hi,
is
Deborah.
already in the chat. We like it.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here with us. Always good to have you here with us. Who else is in the chat?
Let's see who's here. I think people are still jumping on.
People are still jumping on.
They're
Okay,
still jumping
cool. What's good, family? Man, it's another week. Listen, can you believe it is already mid-September?
Yes. Time is flying.
Time is flying. That somebody was like, "Oh yeah, but the time change." Somebody told me this week, like, "Oh well, the time is going to change soon." I was like, "No, not the time change."
October. Yeah, that's about it.
That's
Spring
crazy.
Forward, fall back.
That's crazy. Oh, Catherine Lang is in
Catherine,
the building. She
through.
says, "Ready to cause trouble." Ready to cause trouble.
Yes.
We're excited about that. But yeah, man, it's crazy. The year is just running past.
Done.
I feel like 2023 just began, and now the joint is gone. The joint is gone. Oh man. Yo, put it right now in the chat for the 2 or 3 of you that are hanging with us in the early part of the show here. Just let us know how your business is going. What kind of a year are you having for your business? Is it a good year? Is it a
down with DST?
Down with DST. Is it a level year? Is it a building year? Are you putting together systems? What kind of year are you having? Are you in a scaling year? Are you growing the team? Are you putting together processes and procedures?
Some good questions, y'all.
Talk to us in the comment section. We just want to engage with you a little bit as we get ready to get into our content for the day. For us, we are. What do you say? Our business. We are. It's been busy.
It has been busy. I would say a little bit of, growth, maintenance kind of a thing. Because we're definitely not in the beginning stages.
No,
We're
definitely not in the
that.
beginning stages. Not at all. Yeah, but I don't know. It's an interesting question to consider. I wouldn't say necessarily that we're even scaling, although we are.
We have scaled some things.
Yeah, we have scaled. But listen, sometimes it's not until you actually get the question that you start to realize that's something I really need to be thinking about.
But thanks for the comments. We see Deborah is saying it's a building year.
Building year for Deborah. Hey, we like that.
And Catherine says this year is a
transition year. Listen, sometimes it'd be transition. Listen, we are putting the building blocks together for this show.
Yes,
and we are hoping that the show is definitely in growth, in a growth space. So, getting a lot more inquiries and feedback from different people all over. So
I'm not sure if you guys have seen the stories we've been sharing.
Yeah, I hope you've been seeing those
media.
stories.
We're working on it, man. We're getting the content out.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a lot more interaction. We actually had someone follow our page from one of the reels.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, no.
That's
So
really cool.
there's a lot of what we're doing with the show is quite literally what I do for clients when we launch their platform, launch them online to kind of create a space around their business. So we launch it under the banner of the business, and then we kind of put things out there that is of use and are useful to people. So one such item is the podcast. I see you, Micah Flemings. I see you, Seesaw Studios. Thank you guys so much for being here today. For some reason, our comments on the screen have stopped scrolling.
Working,
so I'm looking over here, but I see you guys. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us today. But yes, the podcast episodes are available. I think we said that like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or something like that.
A week ago, exactly.
We were talking about
we're going to
having
start
the
working on the
podcast,
and voila.
And I am happy to share. I had nothing to do with it for the majority of it. The most part is all Kanique. There's what I will say though is when we build out a show, we put the building blocks in place for people to be able to repurpose. Yes. So even the size of the flyers, I always get them in both sizes no matter what I do. I always do that for my clients as well. So regardless of whether they even use them or not, they've got a whole folder full of them if they ever decide, hey, you know what, I want to take a couple of these episodes and make them into podcasts. Well, you got that. So there, thinking through some of those things is how we can be intentional.
And right now we only have 3 uploaded so far. Yep. Once we get the others up, I'm going to throw those up as well.
Yep.
And we are now being distributed on all those platforms you see
all
there.
Of them
we
up there.
iTunes.
Come on.
Apple, whatever you call it. Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
Spotify. Amazon Podcasts. Google. Yeah.
Podcasts.
Well, Google is still taking its own sweet time to get us up there, but it has been submitted, so we're just waiting for them to get it together.
Yeah.
TuneIn
is there as well.
Player FM. I don't really know that one. And Deezer is on there too. So
we're
not
using.
Playing, man. We've been putting it out
Captivate.
there.
What are we using?
We're using the platform Captivate. To be the host for our podcast.
They're our distributor.
And then they just distribute it to all these different platforms.
Absolutely. Darius O'Kane says, "Good evening, iCouch fam. Good evening to you, Darius. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate that. Listen, we just wanted to kind of prime the pump. I felt, what did she say? Oh, that comment went away. It looks like she removed it.
Hey, Dana.
Anyway, Dana is here. What's going on? Thank you so much for hanging out with us. But yeah, we're going to dive right into our host rant. Let's get to it. This is my time to lean back on the couch. Let me get myself comfortable. Let me make sure that I'm in my spot so that the therapist can talk to me. But let me say this. I recently had an opportunity to interview a gentleman that you may or may not be familiar with. His name is Eric Thomas. He goes by E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. And in our interview, this is random, I know, but just follow me here. In our interview, I was chatting with him about his morning routine, and he talked about getting up, I think at 3:30, and he has like this whole hour-long prayer thing that he does and dives into the Word. And there's some of that hour there where he just sits and he listens to God. Then he goes into this other. He's kind of looking for news, looking for different things, trying to stay up on top of all the different things that is relevant to him and his industry and his businesses, plural. And then, so that brings him to about 5:30. Okay. And then he said from 5:30 to 7, he gets all his calls done for the day. And then from 7 on, he goes about his day. Now, I said to myself, from 5:30 to 7, you got all your calls done for the day. How did you do that? Who are you doing business with? What deals are you making from 5:30 to 7 in the morning? And he was like, all the people that are working at the level that I'm working at, all the people who are making money at the level that I want to make money are awake. That's between 5 and 7. And I was like, and the phrase came back to my mind that if you're not willing to make the investment, whether it's time, whether it's money, whatever it might be, if you're not willing to make the investment, then you won't be able to reap the return. Now, let me flip it, because I know my wife is looking like, this don't sound like the host rant, but it is, because the truth of the matter is, money likes money. Money has money friends.
Yes,
money,
they do.
Money
they
will
go along together.
When money piles up in one place, it'll say, "Oh, this is a nice place for money to hang out," and it will start talking to its money cousins and its money brothers and sisters and say, "Hey, we found a place over here. Come on over here and hang out where the money is." But the problem for many of us, I found, is that we're not willing to make an investment. We're not willing to forego the bargain basement option for our business so that we can make money. I said it before. My dad says to me, it's very expensive to live cheap. And this is the phrases that we want to say to you is, you've got to pay for that.
Yes, you have to, man. To run a business, you have to realize that it is not cheap. It comes at a cost, whether it's financial or whether it's your time. It comes with a cost, and you need to go into business with that mindset.
With that mindset, that this is an investment. And so this is for those who are in the 9-to-5 space and you've got this side hustle that you've been pouring into, you've been depositing into, and you're wondering, man, maybe I don't need to. Okay, now I've finally got a contract and some money is coming in, and you go and you do something like buy I don't know, a phone or a watch, or you take yourself on a trip.
That's not.
And I'm like, guy, you need to be pouring back into the business,
y'all.
You need to be pouring back into the business. Another good friend of mine said to me the other day, hey, how did you get so many cameras? I was like, the first maybe 10 or 15 projects that I did, I would always build into my project equipment costs because, and to be clear, those equipment costs are still in my projects to this day. But I would build them in because I didn't actually have the equipment. I knew how to do the work, but I didn't physically own the equipment. So I built that into my costs so that I could be reimbursing the business. Now, did I pay for a whole camera with a client project? No, I had to take some of my profit and invest it back into the business. And this is the rant for the day. If you are going to go into business, I can't tell you how many people we come across and they're not willing to make the significant investment that it will require for them to go into business. You heard people on the show talk about you traded a 9-to-5 for a 24/7. That's real talk.
That's real.
Because it's not just money investment. It's a time investment. It's an intellectual investment. It's intellectual property. There's so much that goes into making a business and taking it from concept to reality, and from reality to viable, and from viable to successful. It's going to require infrastructure. It's going to require investment, and far too many people don't count the cost before going into business. All right, let me shut up.
Well, I'm just going to add to that. Like, man, we've come into contact with so many people who said, "Oh, I'm going to go into business," but then when you give them that cost for whatever service we're providing them, they're like, "Oh, that's a bit steep." And I'm just like, then did you not expect to be paying that amount for that service? Like, do you want quality service, or you just want someone to just throw something together for you? What is the expectation here? And for me, that's a major frustration.
It's a major frustration.
I'm like, go ahead.
No. I'm just saying, we've said this before. Our primary customer is small businesses. Actually, we thrive on small businesses. And here's the real clincher. Our prices are very reasonable.
Yes,
we have actually told people, go. It's nowhere up. That's expensive? No worries. Please go and do your research. I had a guy come running back like, bruh, can I book you? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I said your prices were expensive, because he went and found other people who do what I do less than what I do. And they were charging him triple and quadruple what I charge. I have a lady, one client that's in Maryland, who wanted me to produce her conference. She's got a weekend conference, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And she was like, I want you to produce this conference. I was like, it's kind of ridiculous to fly me out, pay for my day cost, pay for my travel, accommodations, rental, and then of course pay for the production. Let's see if we can find somebody local. I'll work with your local guy. She got 4 quotes from some local guys. It was cheaper to fly me in, pay for my whatevers, than to get any of those local guys. So what I'm saying is, we know our prices are priced right in that, that sweet spot for small businesses. But so when we come across folks who, just like Kanique just said, oh man, that's a little steep, I don't know about that. You're kind of looking at them like, but bruh,
seriously,
I don't know if you've done your homework here, because we actually know this is actually a good price. Yeah. I see some of your comments as well. First of all, Valencia Hutchinson, we just want to say thank you for being here. She says, yes, time is money. Catherine, thank you so much listen, we want you to be over on YouTube as well. We're really hoping that we can get the LinkedIn.
Working properly.
No, not proper. We want to get composition.
More,
We're streaming on my LinkedIn page right now. We really want to be streaming on composition, but we need followers on composition's page.
And I got to say thanks to the people. We shared that, and we went from like 50 to 117 right now.
Yeah.
So people are
we're moving in the right direction.
And
yes.
we are almost there. I think in the next week or so we'll be at 150.
Yes.
So
we intend to be streaming on LinkedIn on the composition page, and we want to grow that audience there. Darius O'Kane says you got to pay the cost to be the boss.
Come on.
Invest.
Exactly.
I like it. If you can't currently invest finances into your business, as Catherine says, then this is the time to invest in those other resources.
Yes.
Somehow you have to invest or you can't build anything. And this is what I really want. There may be somebody who's going to watch this live right now with us, or even on the replay. And what we're simply saying, we have come across so many people who want to get started in business, but they haven't counted the cost. They haven't recognized that I'm going to need to make an investment. Yep. They want to do things on the cheap, and I want to let you know that can only get you so far.
Yes.
There's gonna come a time where
you're gonna have to spend some money. Yes, we do talk about free resources, but they're limited.
Yeah.
You're eventually gonna have to upgrade to that higher level in order to continue in business.
Yeah, and I want to free somebody up to know that if you feel like this thing is chewing gum and rubber band and duct tape, and you're like, yeah, it's teeter-tottering, it's a house of cards, it's toothpicks. If you feel that way as the business owner, then what do your customers feel like? What do your customers feel like?
And you got to think about that.
Yeah, you can't get the bigger clients unless you're willing to make the investment. Yeah.
So we need to wrap up the host rant. And now we're going to move into our resource of the week.
That's her very nice way of saying, shut up, we got to go. Resource of the week. Oh, here it is on the screen right now. We've got our resource of the week. Listen, fam, turn your complex data into clear, catchy visuals. We've been sharing several of these kinds, but go ahead and talk about it.
So this resource is called Piktochart.
Piktochart.
The little bit of digging I did, I created an account immediately because they give you so much for free. So the first thing, like you saw Kirk talked about, was turn complex data into clear, catchy visuals. So like those charts, nobody likes to look at all the words on a page. This platform, you can move that data into a nice looking chart that's more attractive for people to use. And also it allows you to to take your videos from like a Zoom call or Google Meet and add wording and stuff like that to make it more engaging for users, so you can share it on social media platforms. And that's what this screen is talking about. Another thing is, when you have that script that you see on the videos going through, you can edit that script, the transcript. You can edit that transcript for the video. So I thought that was really cool.
Similar to Descript, but continue.
Yes. And to that platform we're using,
Opus Clips.
It does something similar, and all that is in this one platform. Another thing I thought that it also does is, what's the next slide? You can do infographics.
Yeah.
People love infographics.
Yes, they do.
Nobody want to look at plain, boring words on the screen. They want to have infographics because it's visually appealing, and they can get all that information very quickly just by looking at it.
Yeah.
And this does it for you very easily. It's very easy to use. And another thing I did not include in the screenshot was it has resume templates.
Yeah.
It has pitch deck templates. It has presentation templates. Like, I was in there like, what? It does that too? Oh my goodness. Create an account. I'm going to go dabble in there because I do need some stuff for infographics. The next slide, I believe it talks about flyers. It can help you create nice flyers. And it's similar to Canva, but I feel like it has some other useful stuff that Canva doesn't offer, like the video thing where you can do all that. So this dabble in both, guys. It's free. So see what you can get from one that you can't get in the other, and go
absolutely. Yeah. What this one of the things I like to say in my arena with live streaming is, as there is competition in the space, we, the consumer, win.
We benefit.
We always win, because it doesn't take much to create an account, and that's exactly what we've done.
Yeah. And the
definitely check it out.
Yeah, and the free package gives you quite a bit, before you need to move to anything higher than that. So I would check it out, y'all. So much good stuff in there. I was like, I'm getting an account because I plan to go back and create some stuff with it.
Yeah, man. Listen, in business, these are some of the things I'm talking about. You're going to either invest money and to bring people in to do some of the things that you don't want to do or cannot do or just don't have time to do. It's not essential for you to do anymore. Or you will invest your time and use platforms like these to get some of those things done. So these are, even doing the work of scouting the web and finding out what are some of the platforms that are out there that are really allowing folks to level up and show themselves well. That's part of the game of investing. Seesaw Studio says that is dope. That is dope. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, definitely check it out.
Piktochart.com. P-I-K.
Piktochart.
Really cool.
CHART.com. We'll make sure we have that in the description. I didn't get a chance to put it in there before, but I'll make sure it's in there after the show is done. But man, listen. Talking about graphics and eye-catching posters, talking about videos and content online, especially in business where, the name of the game is marketing. We're excited for our guest who is in the marketing space, web design space, and we are going to dive into the Incubator Spotlight and then our therapist session with Vicki Morris. Let's go.
Hi there, I'm Vicki Morris, owner of Face-to-Face Marketing, and I wanted to share just a little quick story about one of our client success stories. We worked with a client that's a government contractor and doing some amazing philanthropy work here in the local area. We helped them rebuild their website. We helped them fine-tune their logo. We took headshots of the team so that they could represent themselves in the way that they most wanted to. We learned a lot working with this client. We had to learn about what they do, the engineering work that they do, the cybersecurity work that they do, so that we could effectively help them craft their message on their website, on social media, on business cards, and other marketing materials that they worked with. This was a very fun client to work with. We learned a lot. We did a lot of work with them. That's just one quick story of how we help our clients and how we really dig in. We understood who they wanted to work with. We understood the message that their clients needed to receive, and we were able to craft all of that in a way that our client understood and was happy to share with their clients. Our whole goal is to help you communicate your message to the clients you most want to work with. Whatever method that takes, that's what we'll do. For this particular client, it was websites, it was logo, it was headshots, and it was content on their website. We'd love the opportunity to share that insight with you and your small business.
Man, I am always excited to see what entrepreneurs, business owners put together. Listen, fam, I hope you enjoyed the video, but we want to say a word of welcome to our guest today, Vicki Morris. Yes. Thank you so much for coming through.
And Vicki is a fellow web designer, so I'm glad to have her here. She does other things, but I love that, we have that shared commonality.
Okay. We understand each other.
That's it. Speak the same language, man.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to get out-talked here today. I wonder if they have similar types of clients. I don't know. But no, Vicki, take a moment, just kind of share a little bit. They saw the video, but there's more that can be shared.
And there's a lot that Vicki does.
I was getting ready to say that. Good. Because that video just looks piece.
Yeah. So I was trying to keep it short, trying to follow instructions. Yeah. But what we do, we really focus on helping clients communicate their message.
Yes.
And that can be in a myriad of different ways. And so websites is one of the ways that we do that. But one of the things that I do, I like to take helping people write the content. Yes. And Kanique, designing a website, a pretty website, that's great.
Content.
But the content, yes. The website has a job. Helping clients understand that the website has a job. And so we help people write the content. And if you write the content well, you can use it in email, you can use it in social media, you can do it in brochures, all kinds of great things. Rinse and repeat that content. Because if people hear something more and more, it sticks. So I'm helping people craft their communication strategy.
Wow.
So I really like focusing on the overall marketing strategy. Websites is a piece of that
strategy. I love that.
I see the whole thing in my mind, and I said I like to have everything look like first cousins. It doesn't have to be matchy, but they all need to look related.
Yeah.
Yes,
First
so
cousins.
you exactly understand what I'm saying.
That's good. First cousins. Oh my goodness.
Needs to look related,
it really
and that
does.
it works together, and so that can be graphic design, logo design, social media. We've done some, like the big science projects that we used to do in school, having that trifold banner for trade shows and all that. I've done that for a client. I've done brochures, helping clients with their pitch deck.
Okay, get funding.
Coaching people through speaking.
I have that's more out, his realm.
So when you enunciate well, you slow your pace down. It's easier for people to understand. You can think through what you're saying. So
and people can track with you a lot better. And I always tell the kids, stop biting the words before they come out.
They really do. They really bite them out.
Just to let the word come out of your mouth. That's so good. And you know what, I mean, there's all of this is broadly applicable, but I know you're mainly focused on businesses, but I mean, honestly, even the speaking piece, even the branding piece, there's just so much that is, again, like I said, broadly applicable. You can use that in your personal brand. You can use that in your own, like a good friend of mine does speaker coaching, but for 9-to-5ers who are just trying to climb the corporate ladder. They found that if you can speak well, even in the business room, at the conference room table, that'll take you a long way. So those are really crazy skills. That's excellent.
When you speak well, people think they perk up a little bit.
Yes, they do.
A little bit more.
Will.
Let me put the phone down.
Control your voice. I learned how to do that, and controlling the inflection and speaking so that the person in the back of the room can hear
you,
and making that eye contact. All
those
little things that you can do to help people. So we do that, and we've got digital courses and in-person training. So all of the things to help people communicate their message better. Is what we do.
Love.
That's we're gonna make sure the links to that is in the description so that people can take a look and check some things out. There may be an incubator or somebody watching right now, whether live or in the replay. They may say to themselves, I need that.
Vicki in my life.
I need that. But I'm gonna tell you, Kanique said it as we began. She does a lot. I mean,
here in the city of Huntsville, a little piece. Because here in Huntsville, she is connected with so many organizations,
and I love
so many things that she's doing. That is awesome. A lot. So I respect you, lady.
Yes,
you do a lot.
And I'm busy, but it's all connected to profitability. So
there it is. There it is.
Because
you can be very busy,
but not making any money. You gotta be making money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can love that.
That's the name of the game.
Oh wait, and she's also a BNI sister.
Oh come on, BNI in the building. BNI in the building.
I'm an area director for BNI.
That's awesome.
I just got through doing some 2-hour seminars for different chapters, teaching on weekly presentations, which is basically your elevator pitch. And then teaching on feature presentations, and I'm getting ready to do one on one-to-one.
One-to-one.
So I really like teaching. I do. It's you see the light bulb come on in people's eyes.
I love that.
Yeah,
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
All of my master classes. That's the best part of it is when you hear them ask a question and you realize, you're starting to get it now. That's it right there. That's awesome. BNI means Business Network International. I always want to make sure that we define it for those that don't know what it is. And if you want to check that out, there's definitely multiple chapters in the city where you live. But no, listen. So we talked about all the different things that you do. But this is the Incubators Couch, so we want to settle in.
We are ready for
We're ready. They've come to. They want to learn about you, but they also want to hear if your story matches their story.
Absolutely.
And so take us through. The time is yours.
All right. So my story, I feel like it's a little bit unique. I came here from Atlanta, big dreams, I got married and moved here. I was an engineer, and I was like, okay, this is engineering town. I'm going to be able to find a job. Easy peasy. I could not find a job to save my life.
Mercy.
So, this is 1995, and so I got a job at the bank, got a job at the mall,
Hey, you got to do what you
with
got.
a marketing degree.
Oh my!
Oh, wow.
I have a whole degree.
Wow!
And I had a year and some months of engineering experience.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I want to do that. So, we started our family, and I was a stay-at-home mom for several years. Loved being a stay-at-home mom. However, there are trade-offs with that.
There is.
Definitely.
I knew there were things that I liked to do, so I started canning, I was gardening, I was sewing, I was knitting, I was doing all of these things.
You're so busy. I love it. Yeah, no,
so
that's
my
great.
husband said, are you bored? Do you have maybe adult ADD?
Oh my God.
He said, because you can't sit still. You want to be doing something all the time. So I was like, okay, well, I started, going into the work field, just dabbling and seeing what would happen in small business world. And I stumbled on to Rocket City HR, Samantha Brinkley. Worked with her, did some business development for her. And so I was doing some flyers for seminars that we were doing. And I would go and talk to networking events and tell them about the seminars, and people would say, hey, can you do that for me?
Right.
And people kept asking me, and then I was like, hold the phone. People will pay for this.
Yes, they will.
So I was like, okay. So I started my business from there.
There it is.
Just ebb and flow. I had no desire, none whatsoever, to be an entrepreneur.
Hey,
It's
we all
hard
listen.
work.
Some of us stumble in.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And so, but I knew I had a lot to give, and at the time, corporate America in our area just wasn't seeing the value.
Listen. Right. I won't hit to cut you off, but right now in the chat, man, put a number 5 if you stumbled into entrepreneurship. Right.
Yeah.
Put a number 5. Not everybody. Like some people were methodical.
Yeah.
They kind of stepped in. They transitioned.
Yeah.
They didn't. But put a number 5 if you stumbled in. You're just like, wait, this is a business.
Wait a minute.
I need to give you an invoice.
works.
You actually pay me for this? Like
Right.
that's real talk. That's a lot of people's journey, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
That's
And in fact, especially when you take that route through finding what you like to do, you actually enjoy it, and then somebody's like, no, I'm going to pay you for that. And you're like, that's good. I just wanted to engage with our audience a little bit. So we should be seeing some number 5s in there, because he's going to put a 5 in there as well.
If I were in the audience and listening to this, I would have a 5.
Cool.
Yeah. So things just started to grow. Pandemic happened. I was scared to death. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the end of my business. Because
the pandemic.
Because everything I was doing was in person and very localized. However, Zoom becomes the thing. It's like, whoa, you can do things and just have these conversations with people digitally over Zoom. So I expanded. I had clients all over the country now.
At this point,
And so being able to use Zoom and work in different ways, it was more efficient. I could do more. I could reach more clients.
Wow.
So my business expanded tremendously.
Wow.
With the power of Zoom and being able to do things virtually. So it's just grown.
Didn't have to travel anywhere.
Right.
But you can really hit a lot. I mean, our business ballooned in the pandemic.
It really did, and we expanded into that work.
I stepped away from official 9-to-5 work during the pandemic as well. So I the needs of that virtual online space was crazy.
And y'all are your poster childs for that. Y'all are a married couple, and both of y'all are entrepreneurs. Scary stuff.
That is scary. Yeah. Somebody told us we need to write a book. I was like, no, I don't know if that book would be.
Hats off to you two.
Thank you.
That is good. That is good.
Yeah.
So now talk to us about what I know there had. I mean, in this space, I mean, I'm in pseudo marketing as well. Not pseudo, it's really video marketing actually.
Yes.
But there's always misunderstandings. There's always misconceptions. Sometimes people don't come to the table with the right things that they need to come to the table with. So give us an experience with one of these clients that it went the way that it went, right?
Yeah.
Of course, we don't want names.
No, never gonna carry names.
But
so I've had a client in the past, and they had an idea of what they wanted to do. But they weren't clear on who their ideal client was.
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
They weren't really clear on what the message needed to be, so they were all over the place. I was giving them a strategy, and it was hard for them to marry the strategy that I was giving them with what they wanted to do. So I can take where you want to end up, but I'm going to map it out. I need you to follow the roadmap. We're going to get there, but I need you to stick with me. So they weren't able to do that. And so sometimes you have to fire a client.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Okay.
Make it a shirt.
Like that.
Make it a shirt.
Yes.
You can fire a client.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's definitely the
title. It
title.
works both ways, guys.
Yes.
That's definitely a good title right there.
So, I learned a lot from that
Fired.
experience.
Yeah.
They were very educated in their separate fields, but they weren't all in. And so it was a lot of resistance with what I was trying to do. And I was having to work so much harder trying to convince them. And I just needed them to buy into what I was talking about. So that taught me, I have a questionnaire now. Ooh, we do a discovery call.
That's good.
Yes.
That is so good.
So we find out if we're a good fit.
Yeah.
Because I tell my team members and I tell my clients, I'm a lot. I know this.
Because you go all in, okay. And that's fine.
And your audience needs you to be a lot.
Yes. Right. So the clients some of the clients I've worked with, some of them are engineers, and engineers want to share all of this information that they know, and I know how to speak engineering.
Yeah.
So I can help them dial it back, give just enough. Make a very clean palette, and clean doesn't mean nothing on there. It just means it's the right things in the right place.
Exactly.
And you have empty space. Empty space.
It's okay to have empty
space. It's okay. White space, y'all, for web stuff. White space is good.
Like even in speaking, you can pause.
Yes.
You don't have to fill it.
True. A dramatic pause works very well.
It'll draw people back. Like you pause, people will start looking like what?
Yep.
Are they still there? What's going on the stage?
Right.
That pause is critical. So space, having that space, man, that's so good. I know we moved into the lessons learned, but I just want to go back for just a second.
Yes.
There comes a time where you have to fire a client. My goodness, I like that.
And you mentioned that the client was very educated in their field. Did you feel like because they felt they were so educated that they felt that they knew what you should have been doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so, those are things you want to know on the front end. And that's something that maybe the client didn't realize about themselves.
Right.
So,
there's a learning experience for the client as well.
Right. Yeah. And we're still friends. It wasn't a good business relationship. But, we're still friends. Yeah. We each learned a lot from that experience.
And that's good that you guys were able to separate the two. Because sometimes that doesn't work, where you're still a friend after going into business with someone.
Right.
So that's really good.
Yeah. But there's also, so there's lessons learned there as well. But I think there is someone out there. You may be dealing with a client right now, and you just feel like if I just put in a little more effort, if I just do, maybe if I explain it this way, or explain it that way, maybe if I deliver the solution or the steps, the roadmap in a packaging that they'll receive, then it'll work. And I just want to give you the permission and the freedom right here, right now, to fire them.
I know, because it might not work.
You just have to recognize, because the answer may be just like what Vicki said. Yeah. Maybe at the beginning, there were some things that you did not do in order to really weed out whether or not this is a good client for you.
And one of the things that I learned from that I improved on my process, everybody may not be for the flagship offer that you have. I have a downsell and an upsell. So I have digital courses that people can take. I have a podcast. I have
you got the free option. You've got paid, and you've got that flagship.
Right. And so it's like, I charge a lot for a website because I do a lot. That's a lot of work. So if you can't afford that, but you still want a great website, I wrote an ebook on what to put on the website.
Right.
So you can spend a little money on that ebook, get your content together, and if you're feeling lucky, go forth and be great and find a template. Go for it.
Exactly.
But I'll say this, for a lot of people, they'll get the ebook, read the ebook, and the ebook will confirm to them, I don't need to be doing this. I need to hire somebody.
Exactly.
It's like, does it take that? And I'm gonna tell you that's a really great way to kind of step it through. And I think, understanding that that trajectory, right? That process flow for your clients and how they become clients and some of those steps that they need to go through before. If you can identify what those are and help them take those steps on their own, even before the discovery call, that's an absolute cheat code right there. That's good. Because you're almost grooming them towards being a good client. Whether they go with you, or they go with Kanique, or they go with someone else, they are a better client for whoever they go to because they have a little more information about how it's supposed to all work.
When I'm doing marketing strategy work, that's totally separate from doing the done-for-you work. I would love to work with a client where I'm helping them create their strategy, and then I'm working with website designer that I trust, like Kanique. It's like, okay, well, Kanique, this is what we need for the website, and I know I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to manage the process. I just give Kanique here the framework, the bullet points of what we need, and she and I can communicate. That is a beautiful working relationship.
That's the dream. That's the dream. That always doesn't always happen.
No,
that's the dream. One of the things I would want to pose to you as a question, because I find this tension in my business as well, in some of client interactions. A lot of them come for the service. They want a thing done, but what they really need is coaching. Like they really, I mean, desperate. Like when you first said this particular client had the messaging wasn't right. They weren't speaking to the right audience. It wasn't clear in terms of what they wanted to get across. All of those pieces, it's screaming to me, oh, they need coaching. They need coaching. They need somebody to help them kind of fine tune. That's not a service like building a website. That's actually more a strategy session, ideation, but mainly coaching. So how do you navigate between the two?
That's an area that I'm wanting to migrate to in my business. Having that coaching relationship so that, and some people call it like fractional CMO work. So you need a chief marketing officer a fraction of the time. And so that way, if I can work with other outsourced companies to build out what we're talking about, that's great for me. I love the strategy. I love the strategy.
I absolutely love the strategy as well. And I have a team that works on some of the content pieces, doing the video editing and things like that. But I would much rather stay on that conceptual side, working with them to kind of think through what's going to be said when we record the content or go live, rather than actually designing the live. So there's some pieces. I think that's so good. Fractional. Really cool. I've never heard of that one, man. That's a good one. That's good. We're learning here today, y'all. We are learning here today.
And then I have a newsletter that I've started, and it's called the 419, and it comes out at 4:00 on the 19th of every month. I'm talking about my podcast. I'm talking about some marketing tips, really quick things. I have an article in there, just a case study of different concepts and things in marketing. And then I share a client highlight, some things that we did for a client, and make it all clickable. Now, the beauty of it is you can click in different areas. I can see what you clicked on.
Yes, you can.
You're interested in podcasts? I'm going to send you some more information about podcasts. You're interested in digital courses? I'm going to send you some more information on digital courses.
Gotta love those newsletters.
So
check your analytics, y'all.
Yes.
But this is phenomenal. So that's for you. But that could easily be packaged and sold to a client as well.
Yes, it can be.
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. That's why I did the test market.
Exactly.
You got to test on yourself first.
Yes. So I know what works, how to do it, and all of that.
Yeah.
And so basically, my sister and I, we have the template. And so we can just, put new stuff in every month. So I can literally plan out 12 newsletters at a time, get them all done, and schedule them for the 19th. At 4:00.
Oh my God.
That's what's up.
That's good. And there's so much consistency built in there. People know exactly. It's in the name.
What day.
That's good, man. You're learning. This is too much. We're gonna have to cut the broadcast now. We're gonna way too much information. Way too much information. But I just what you learned from that particular client engagement, and of course giving people permission to exit, stage left, bro. Sandman comes on the stage with the hook, it's time for you to go. So you have permission to get rid of that client, but also don't just close it out and move on.
Right.
Take a second to do the postmortem to what happened here.
Right.
Yeah. Right. What happened here? What went well? What didn't go so well? Right. Why did we end up like this?
Right. What can I improve?
What can I improve?
And then circle back to them, and maybe they need a different entry point into the sales funnel.
Yes.
So good.
So, there's the podcast. There's the digital courses. I'm getting you ready to be an ideal client.
Grooming
the
client. That's good.
That's good.
I like that. That's really cool.
Oh man, that's good. Yes, and because where their on-ramp is,
right?
Where they can get off, right?
Absolutely.
That is good. Hey, listen, I'm going to stop talking now. I have like 50 million ideas rumbling around my head. I'm just going to be quiet now.
Well, that's all, folks. We are wrapping it up. But Vicki, please take a moment to just share. Do you have an upcoming event or whatever thing you want them to know about?
And look, the 19th just passed, so there's another 19th coming though.
Yes, yes. So that newsletter just went out. So I do have a seminar series that I'm working on with another BNI sister.
Yes,
Dana's.
Yes,
who was a guest.
She was on the show and she did talk about it, y'all.
No, actually, I don't think she did. She said she had a surprise. She said it's a surprise.
I thought she said the title. She didn't.
I don't know.
Well,
we'll have to go back and review.
Focus is on clarity. Helping you clarify what you do, how you do. She's great at systems.
Yes.
I love a good system. You can't have a marketing strategy now that without a good system.
You gotta have systems.
So we're marrying the two of the things that we do best. And so we have a seminar series of 6 seminars that we're putting together.
I love it.
Around lunchtime. And you're not just hearing us talk. We're giving you worksheets and workbooks, things to do.
It'll be practical.
They're actionable items that you can walk away from that seminar and put into practice right then and there.
Love it.
This is going to be great.
Awesome.
We'll make sure that link is in the description as well.
Yes, please.
So whenever you have it, just send it to us. But that's going to be great. Sure. I'm excited about that. It's something about having something practical. When people watch these kinds of podcast shows, whatever, they are great as a resource just to be able to go back and review. But when you have something tangible,
that's really good.
That drives home the point, and it allows people to really have impact in their daily lives and their businesses and whatever it is they've got going on. That's good. That's really good.
So I'm excited about that.
We're
working on that, and it hits my my sweet spot of being able to teach and share that in that consultation, and there's that coaching that we get to do with clients. So
awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, man, Vicki, thank you so much for coming through and hanging out today. Fam, on the screen you have her handle. That is for Facebook. Make sure you check her out. But again, links will be in the description for you guys to check out some of the other things she's got going on, up to and including, the 419 newsletter and this seminar series that's coming up. Man, this is good. This is awesome. We're going to have you back.
Yes, this has been so much fun. Time has just flown by.
I know.
Amazing. Take care, everybody. Oh, some of you are wondering who is sitting next to me. What's up, bud?
Hello, I'm Carson.
Oh, man, listen, that was a phenomenal episode. But let me just say, my wife, Kanique, my co-host for this show, had to run and pick up our daughter from volleyball. Yeah. And so we're closing out the show with my son, with our son. This is Carson Nugent.
And they're back.
They're back. But anyway, one of the things I absolutely loved about how we landed was the concept that you can groom a client. You can groom a client into the ideal client for you, into a client that actually knows your systems, that, essentially you're putting the groundwork out there for them to be successful at being your client. And I think that that's absolutely amazing. So that's definitely something that we wanted to put in. I put it in the comments as well. Several of you are saying, hi, Carson, hi, Carson, hi, Carson. Yeah. And Carson is not only saying hi, but he's saying bye, because Kanique is back.
I'm back,
you close
y'all.
the door, okay, buddy?
I'm back.
The door is just randomly open right now. But yeah. So, but man, that whole grooming a client thing, absolutely phenomenal.
Yes.
With the ebook, right? With the e-courses.
Yep.
Different things, free content that you're putting out there. That's right. Keep it in the family, Darius. Okay. All the different things. And let me just say, we're a family of K's. So it's not Carson with a C. It's Carson with a K. So it's Karsyn. I just want to put that out there. I see a lot of the Carsons in the chat, but it's Karsyn. But anyway, there's something to be said for recognizing that while you could put in the effort with a client who isn't necessarily probably the best fit, and not every time. I'm not saying every time you need to fire them.
Absolutely.
But one of the things you can do way ahead of actually getting this client as engage with you is grooming them, giving them content that is self-paced, on demand, that they can take care of, they can consume. One of the best things I did on my side on the How It All Works side of things is just coming up with that ebook, just like she talked about. I have an ebook that's 31 live streaming tips to grow and engage an audience. That is in my opinion, almost live streaming 101. If you want to come work with me, you got to go read that ebook. And that has kind of really taken some of the guesswork out. I mean, people will literally get into the discovery call and be like, yeah, when I read the ebook, you talk about doing this, and I was really trying to incorporate that, because now that becomes the base for our conversation. And it doesn't always happen that way. But when it does, literally, you're so much better poised for success with that client.
And another thing is, that's one of the things that we talked about as one of your marketing things to do is you want to give you want to give people something that's free.
Yeah.
And then once you've brought them into your business fair, you could call it, then you can say, okay, here are my different offerings that are paid that they might want to be interested in. Yeah. So that's just a way of pulling them into, doing business with you. Boom. So you definitely want to have something free. And then what are your other packages? What are options you have?
I mean, the free and free shouldn't be something that you're doing for them. Free should be something that they're doing for themselves.
You're giving
them a guide as to how best to do it. And you just kind of load that thing up, back the truck up. I mean, literally, I've found the more I pack into that freemium, the more likely they are to book the discovery call, because then they'll be like,
yeah, you're an expert, you know what you're talking about. What am I trying to achieve and here? If you're giving all that information for free, then what can I get?
Right.
If I actually pay for it.
Mercy. Yeah, you're building up that value proposition. In fact, if you don't have freemium content, then every other portion of content or every other service that you have seems way more expensive because they don't have any base to compare it with.
Yes.
But that's so good. Hey, Valencia says, hey, Carsyn, I know he's already gone now, but I will make sure that he says, what's up? Read Catherine's comment here.
Okay, Catherine says, repurposing your content is a great way to level up or down. So your podcast series becomes a lead magnet for your email, and several together becomes your print book for speaking.
Yeah, real talk.
Yes.
Real talk.
That's good.
Yeah. She's giving away gems in the chat. Catherine, we've already chatted. Yep. We're gonna get you on the show as well, and somebody else we'll reach out to. It's just a really busy time for us right now.
We're pretty busy, but we've got some people we have in mind that will be coming up soon, and we're excited about that. So,
but listen, we are rounding home base in terms of our time. Where are we at here? Oh man. We started the show. Some of you weren't here. We started the show by saying, what season of business are you in? Are you in growth? Are you scaling? Are you in a busy season? Are you really just kind of getting things going? Are you in that heavy push, to get things started? You have to have that heavy push to get the momentum going. Are you exploring other leads and pushing your boundaries? What season are you in? And sometimes one of the things that we realized as we asked that question at the beginning of the show today was, sometimes it's only in asking the question that we actually get a chance to sit back and really think to ourselves, where am I in business? Where am I in business? And so I wanted to pose that question yet again, because I know we have more people watching now, but I also want to pose this last question. Who should you fire? I mean, the truth of the matter is, man, if you listen to what Vicki shared there, sometimes you do need to do that assessment. We talk about doing these assessments after a client engagement is over. Sometimes you might need to build into your process an assessment midstream.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I had to do very recently.
Yeah. Do I need to? this is heading in the wrong direction.
Let's just type up that termination email.
Let's get this done.
Send.
Yeah, and the peace that comes from it. Oof, the peace.
Oh my goodness, you don't even understand. That peace is like nothing else.
Mercy.
My goodness.
Deborah Brewer says transitioning from 9 to 5 to doing my business full time.
Wow.
I just lost my job a month ago. Listen, Deborah, we are praying for you. Yes. We're praying with you. I don't know if you're a person of faith, but it's just something that we do. It's part and parcel of all that we do. Prayer is such a huge component of our lives.
Yes, it is.
But we're as you know, in outside of the faith space, people say, "I'm pulling for you. I'm thinking good thoughts," but we are praying for you.
But we also understand that in a time like this, man, this is the time you really grind. When there's nothing else to fall back on, this is the time you're gonna see some stuff come out of yourself where you're gonna push so hard. And I think that you will make it through for sure.
Yeah,
and feel free to reach out to us. Yeah,
please. I personally was very surprised at how hard we pushed.
Yeah, when we were like, both of us are working in the business. 2 of us
working in the business.
Man, that hustle mentality kicks in like nothing else, and you're gonna figure it out.
So and that's true too, Deborah. Sometimes God will close the door. Yeah, I feel like He did that for me. I even though I put in the resignation at my previous 9 to 5, I feel like he created a scenario where I was frustrated out. And,
it was like His way of saying, get out. You're not gonna quit? Oh, I'm gonna force you to have to quit because you're not listening the nice way.
I like your comment as well, Catherine. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. Count the cost, and that includes your heart cost. Ooh,
exactly.
Heart cost.
Heart cost. That's good.
We receive that thing. No, Deborah says, listen. I didn't see that last line. I was holding on to something that was over a long time ago. Got you. And I feel like that's the same space that I was in. Yes. Yeah, but listen, I think have those conversations with yourself. Do that introspection. Take the time to really see, like, am I okay? Is this client
you
a
have
good
to
one?
do that.
Or what season of business am I in? What season am I in? Because, depending on the season that you're in, it will determine where you should go, what you should be doing, what you should be focused on, right? If you're in a growth season, you need to be putting together standard operating procedures. You need to make sure you have your documentation done, because as you onboard people, you want them to be able to hit the ground as fast as possible.
True. Yeah.
Or if you are in the space of, I want to get more clients. I don't want to be the best kept secret. I want to be top of mind, tip of tongue. I want to be out in front of people. Then you're going to be looking into ways to market.
Yes.
And this is what we talked about a couple of weeks ago when we said being in business also means wearing many hats, right? You always ask the question,
like you are the marketer, you're the one paying the taxes, you're the one doing this, that.
Someone still wants to somebody do a presentation on can you come and do that? You're like, I'm a web designer. Do it. Yeah. We want you to do a presentation on web design. These are all things you now need to become comfortable with.
Yes.
So that you can show up in those spaces in those ways, and you can get the business. Those are the things, man. So I keep on forgetting what episode this is. I'm trying to get the cheat code here. Episode 18. Yep. She says, I receive it. Thanks. This is episode 18. Can you imagine? This is episode 18.
Yes,
we've been at this for 18 episodes. Yes. That's crazy.
That's awesome. 18. And please head on over to the Composition LLC LinkedIn page and become a follower so that we can start pushing the stream to the business page.
Absolutely. Listen, next week we will probably not have a guest. I'm pretty certain about that. But what we're going to do is we're going to interview you. You will be our guest. So make sure you show up. Make sure you come ready with your stories. Guys, we're going to be looking to highlight some of your Clientzillas or some of your horror stories. We have a presentation that we have done in the past that I'm thinking would be a good time for us to kind of do that on this platform. Cool. It's actually one of the things that it was the impetus for us starting the show. You remember this presentation? It's actually like clips of that presentation are in the intro video. It's in the it's several. It's all over the show, but we're gonna do portion of that presentation for you guys. How do you know if you're ready to be an entrepreneur? I believe it's something like that.
That's cool. Yeah.
So look out for that next Monday night, and then we will continue it on. We're gonna push through till I believe November. For the show before we take a break for the holidays, but and November is a crazy. Well, actually, I want to say October is actually really crazy. Now I think about it, but November is a crazy month because there are two birthdays in this household.
Yes, there are two birthdays, and we are tripping. We are going somewhere,
so yeah, doing the show while listen, it's possible. Let me tell you, if anybody can figure it out, I'll figure it out. Okay, so we're gonna get it in there. But listen,
and
fam,
feel free. Also, you guys saw in the beginning of the show, the podcast is live. Go on the website icouch.show. Scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see the podcast channels. Add us to your favorite podcast platform, iTunes. Tune in, all of them, and share it with a friend. That'd be awesome.
I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to figure out how to get to that scene, but I figured it out.
And if you have missed an episode, go ahead and just watch them.
Yeah.
We got 3 right now. We'll add the others later. But
the podcast doesn't have the full episode, doesn't have the
it just has the story
or the resource of the week, but it does have the stories, the guest stories, and then of course our stories as well. So check them out. Give us a review, because that's a thing with podcasting. But also, we just want to say a word of thanks to all of you for coming through and hanging out with us tonight. 12 of you guys on the live. We know several of you are going to comment and catch the replay later. Thank you, and thank you again. We can't thank you enough. Deborah is in the comments. Valencia. I know Catherine is there. We saw Seesaw Studios. We saw Darius O'Kane. Man, so many of you guys have come and hang out with us tonight, and we want to just say thank you. Tag a friend, share the link. You know somebody who wants to go into business, let them know that the Incubators Couch is there for them, because Incubators Couch is unscripted. I'm waiting for you. Vulnerable conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners just like you. And we'll see you, family, around these internet streets or in the next episode. Later, fam.